Om Sadashivasamarambham
Om Sadashivasamarambham
Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Om Bhadram Karnebhi Shrunuyama Devaha
Om Bhadram Karnebhi Shrunuyama Devaha
Bhadram Pashye Bhakshabhiryajatraha
Bhadram Pasye Makshabhiryajatraha
Sthirairangai Stuštuvagum Sastanubhihi
Sthirairangai Stuštuvagum Sastanubhihi
Vyashema Devahitam Yadayuhu
Vyashema Devahitam Yadayuhu
Swasti na Indro Vruddhashravaha
Swasti na Indro Vruddhashravaha
Swasti na Pusha Vishwavedaha
Swasti na Pusha Vishwavedaha
Swasti nastarkshyo Arishtanemihi
Swasti nastarkshyo Arishtanemihi
Swasti no Brihaspatir Dadhatu
Swasti no Brihaspatir Dadhatu
Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi
Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi
Yam Yam Lokam
Yam Yam Lokam
Manasa Samvidhati
Manasa Samvibhati
Vishuddha Sattvah Kamayate
Vishuddha Sattva Kamayate
Yanscha Kaman
Yamscha Kaman
Tam Tam Lokam
Tam Tam Lokam
Jayate
Jayate Jayate
Tamscha Kaman
Tamscha Kaman
Tasmad Atmagyam Hi Archayet
Tasmat Atmagnyam Hyachayet
Bhutikamaha.
Bhutikamaha.
So this again is a very important verse, particularly the last pada. Atmagnyam hi archayet bhutikamaha is quoted a lot. Okay. So this verse till now the Upanishad has been talking about a jnani, correct? So how this jnani gains this jnana, what is the immediate cause? So the immediate cause for gaining moksha, for jnanam, is nothing but subjecting oneself to the pramana vyapara and gaining this jnana, correct? And to gain this jnana, one should have certain qualifications in terms of your disposition of your mind. So all that was talked about. So just by leading an ethical life, just by doing religious austerities, you will not get moksha. Just by doing any karma also, whatever may be the karma, however big may be your accomplishment, it is not moksha, because as long as you are looking upon yourself as a wanting person, and due to that you are impelled to have certain desires, and because of your desires you have to further do some action and fulfill your desires. But while fulfilling the desires, what you are actually desiring for is nothing but some result of some action. And results of all actions, any action, are all limited. It's not going to make you free from being a wanting person. So a person who has a certain discrimination, one who has understood the nature of action and its results, understands that any result of any action is not going to make me fundamentally different person. I am still the same limited wanting being. Only when you want to get rid of this being a wanting person itself, correct? That itself you want to get rid of. That is the real freedom. That I want to be free from being a wanting person. Then you become a mumukshu. You are the one who wants freedom. And then how do we gain it? By Atmajnana, by knowing oneself, because one is already free. That is the reality. One is already the limitless. One is already Purnaha. You are the whole without lacking anything. You don't lack anything. You are already free from all wants. That is the vision. Because you are both the subject and the object. You are the reality, very reality of both the subject and object. In every experience, you are the unchanging consciousness. You are the invariable in every experience. And all experiences resolve in yourself. That is your nature. That is you. So, the jnani understands this. Okay? And now that jnani is praised in this particular verse. So, by praising the one who has this knowledge, that knowledge also is praised, because see, the whole subject matter of this Upanishad is Atmajnana. And any book will try to praise its own subject matter, correct? Then only the one who is pursuing that or reading that book or trying to know what is there in that book will have any interest. So here the Upanishad is praising the jnani, and through that it is also praising the jnana itself. Okay, how is it praising the jnani? So that is also very interesting here. So it says yam yam lokam manasa samvidhati. See here beautifully. So all the lokas, any loka for example, which the jnani wants mentally. So jnani need not actually go to any loka. Understand that. It may be whatever, Swarga loka, Brahma loka, whatever may be the loka. The jnani need not go there. Jnani only has to think about it. Okay. So manasa samvibhati, and yamscha kaman kamayate. Any desire the jnani desires for. Okay, let us say. Again, it is only pure desiring. Jnani need not do anything. Understand here. So, yamscha kaman kamayate. Any desire, then what happens? Tam tam lokam jayate. Hey, whatever loka the jnani wants, the jnani gets it. Okay, and tamscha kaman. All those desires also are fulfilled. So don't have to do anything, don't have to go anywhere. Just by sankalpa matrena, manasa samvibhati. Just by thinking about something, the jnani has gained that, has attained or fulfilled that particular desire. Like that the Upanishad says here. So what is the actual meaning of this also we have to understand. So here jnani is the one who does not lack anything, correct? One who does not look upon oneself as a wanting person. One who looks upon oneself as Purnaha. That means normal people, what do? They want something, then they want to fulfill their desire, correct? Whatever they want, they desire that, and to fulfill that they have to do something, And once the desire is fulfilled, let us say they are happy. The jnani is already having that, correct? The jnani is already happy. The jnani need not fulfill any desire to be happy. For a jnani, whatever the jnani is thinking of, itself is Atma only. Understand that. It is not separate from Atma. Nothing is separate from Atma. Jnani, for jnani, has what is known as Sarvatma Bhava. The jnani is the one who looks upon everything in this Srishti as oneself. Because I am the one who is giving the very existence to this Jagat. And all the things in this Jagat which we know or we don't know also, everything included, all of them are not separate from this Atma. Understand that. So jnani is already, even if the jnani is thinking about something, jnani is already that thing. That's why thinking alone is enough, Upanishad says. And also, let us say, even if it has to be achieved, something has to be gained, means that gaining has no meaning, because for jnani, whatever normal people gain by fulfilling their desire, that is already accomplished for the jnani. That's why jnani is called Kritakrityaha. Kritakrityaha means what? Jnani is the one who has done everything which has to be done already. Nothing needs to be done. Even Bhagavan says in Bhagavad Gita, Name Parthasti Kartavyam. I don't have anything to be done in this world. Hey Partha, I don't have anything to do. I don't have to do anything. See, Isvara also is similar to jnani. In fact, even Isvara is free only because of this jnanam. Understand that. If Isvara does not have this jnanam, then Isvara also is only an exalted jiva. Understand? Even Prajapati and Brahma and all will become only exalted jiva. But Brahmaji is presented as a jnani because his whole Guru Parampara starts with Brahmaji. So even Brahmaji is free only because Brahmaji has this knowledge. Otherwise, Brahmaji also is only a jiva doing the duty of creation. And in fact, we'll have a lot of problems, I think. We are having so many problems doing little things. Brahmaji has to take care of the whole creation, means how much headache Brahmaji will have. Think about that. Or if we look at it as Isvara is the one, is the creator, Isvara will have so many problems because the whole creation is his or her problem, you can say, correct? Isvara has to take care of the whole creation. Then it's a biggest headache. So then how Isvara is taking care of it? Isvara is doing a lot of hard work and worrying about all these things. Is it like that? No. See, that's why even see our Vishnu is the one who is sustaining the entire creation, we say, correct? But how the Vishnu is sustaining? At least let us say Brahmaji created and his work is over. Now he is resting. Vishnu is the one who is sustaining. But is he again worried about sustaining this world? How Vishnu is taking care means he is actually lying down. Correct? Ananta Shayana. In Ananta is nothing but see that snake itself is a representation of Shakti. Because snake is an amazing animal. It does not have any limbs, correct? Without any limbs, it moves. See the beauty. That is Shakti. So it's a representation of Shakti. And Isvara has this Shakti. Isvara is lying down. Isvara has Shakti and then he has delegated everything to his Maya Shakti, you can say, by giving the very existence to the Shakti, and everything is going on. Isvara does not really make any big effort, because for Isvara also everything is Sankalpa Matra. Isvara is called Satya Sankalpaha, and Jnani also is a Satya Sankalpaha, because Jnani does not look upon himself or herself as only this ego. Understand that. Jnani looks upon oneself as this Atma, Sarvatma. So Jnani is not just the ego. That's why this Jnani here is called Vishuddha Sattvaha. Vishuddha Sattvaha here has two meanings. The primary meaning here is one who does not have any ignorance. Because here, the pure mind, when we say the purity is with reference to not having any ignorance about oneself. But it also has a secondary meaning of one who does not have any, or one who is not bound by any desires, likes and dislikes. So one whose mind is calm. Now those things actually are something to be accomplished by sadhakas, correct? So all the sadhana you do is to purify your mind. And with a purified mind, you further purify it by removing ignorance, self-ignorance, because that is the greatest purification you can do. Nahi jnanena sadrisham pavitra miha vidyate, like that Bhagavan says in the Gita. So there is nothing which is more purifying than knowledge. Why? Because knowledge removes ignorance. Ignorance is the greatest impurity that we have. So finally we have to remove ignorance. That is the main thing. So here Vishuddha Sattvaha represents both the qualification one requires to gain this jnana, and also it represents the accomplishment itself, okay, which is being free from ignorance. So Vishuddha Sattvaha, the one who has pure mind, one who does not have any ignorance about the self, and one whose mind is also calm, free from any likes and dislikes. Such a person, that person does not look upon oneself as this small ego, small Atma. No. That person looks upon, Jnani looks upon himself as the Atma of everything. Not just everybody, everything. Whatever that Jnani knows, whatever I think, I am that already. That is the knowledge. And whatever happiness a normal person can gain by fulfilling any desire, I already have it. I don't have to really do anything to gain happiness or any better happiness or anything like that. I am already Purnaha. It can't be bettered. Apuryamanam achala pratishtam samudram apa pravishanti yadvat. So the Jnani's mind is like the ocean. Any water which is coming in is not going to make any big difference to the levels of the ocean. It's only an analogy, okay? So don't say that now global warming is happening, oceans are rising and all that. So don't go literally into that. The analogy is given in Gita saying that Jnani's mind is like an ocean. And all these different desires are like small streams which are entering the ocean. They are not going to make any big difference. That is the idea. Okay? The ocean remains as it is, irrespective of whether any stream is entering it or not. Like that, Jnani is already Purnaha, does not look upon as lacking anything. And any desire which you fulfill normally and think that you are gaining something and becoming happy and all that, Jnani already has it. So that's why even if you take Taittiriya Upanishad, it says, So Shnute Sarvan Kamaan Saha. So Saha, Brahmavid, okay, Brahmavida Apnoti Param, it starts. So that Brahmavid, Saha, Ashnute sarvan kaman saha. Saha there means yugapat, simultaneously, immediately. Okay, all the desires are fulfilled simultaneously. As soon as you gain this knowledge about yourself, it's as good as you fulfilling all the desires. Because you are no more a wanting person. That is the beauty here. So the same thing is talked about here, that Jnani fulfills whatever the Jnani thinks, it is already fulfilled for the Jnani just by thinking. Don't have to really do anything else. Okay? And that is what is talked about here. Okay. So Jnani, for Jnani, all desires are as though already fulfilled. So what? Then it says beautifully, therefore, tasmat atmajnam hi archaye. So, bhutikamaha. So, those who are desirous of prosperity, bhutikamaha. Okay? Okay? So, such a person, you have to go and archaye. Correct? So, you worship such a person. Okay? So, bhutikamaha atmajnam hi archayet bhutikamaha. The knower of the Atma has to be worshipped by those who are desirous of prosperity, you can say. Okay? Like this, the Upanishad says. So, why does the Upanishad say this? Because, see, people have a certain prarabdha. In fact, many things in our life are going according to prarabdha. But then we also have our purushartha, we have free will. So we also pray for many different things because as Vaidika and Dharmika people, we know that there are Papa and Punya which are unfolding as part of my prarabdha. But prayer can be useful, correct, for producing Punya, and that Punya can neutralize whatever Papa which is unfolding, so that whatever comes to my head will only take away my hat, let us say, correct? Like Bhagavan saved Arjuna. See, Karna also was an equally good fighter, correct? And Karna had the weapons also, which were capable of defeating Arjuna. Then Karna was aiming at Arjuna. Okay. Then Karna also had a charioteer who was a very intelligent person, understand? So Shalya was the charioteer for Karna. Shalya, being a very experienced warrior, he told, aim at the neck of Arjuna. Okay. But Karna was a very egoistic person. He said, you are a charioteer, do your duty, don't advise me. Okay. And he aimed at the head of Arjuna. Then what Bhagavan, see, that is where Arjuna's punya is nothing but Bhagavan, Daivam. So what Bhagavan does, he lowers the chariot when Karna lets the arrow go. That arrow has already left, correct? If you don't do anything, it would have taken the head of Arjuna, correct? That is like prarabdha. But then if you are doing prayers and if you are creating some punya, daivam, that is like Krishna intervening now. What Krishna does, he simply, they say that he just pressed a little bit with his toes. And the chariot sunk a little bit. And that arrow took away Arjuna's crown. And he escaped. If he had aimed for the neck, still Arjuna would have died. But because of his own whatever ego and all that, he did not listen to Shalya. He aimed for the head. Then whatever was coming for the head also, Krishna made sure that only the crown was taken away. In fact, for a Kshatriya, even losing the crown is as good as dying. Understand that. In a battle, if you lose your crown, means you are as good as dead. So that means that Prarabdha also has fulfilled something. Whatever unpleasant thing has to happen, it has happened. But then Bhagavan saved also in the end. He saved Arjuna. Like that, we all know that our life, many things are not in our hands. Understand that. That is our experience. That is the common experience of everybody. We don't control all the variables. A practical person understands that in our life, every day also so many situations are happening. We don't control all the variables in a particular situation. We can still make our best effort. But as a practical person, one part of that effort is also prayer. You take Bhagavan also as your partner in whatever you are doing. We pray and we produce some punya, and that punya will again neutralize the papa, so that any unpleasant experience do not overwhelm you. Is that clear? So something like that, we know that. So if a person's prarabdha does not preclude something, and if that person is praying to a jnani also, like the person prays to Isvara, one can pray to the jnani also. And I told you, jnani does not look upon himself or herself as only this body, mind, sense complex. Jnani looks upon oneself as Sarvatma, as the Atma of everything. And whatever occurs in the mind of the jnani, then there is as good as it will get fulfilled. Okay? So you go and pray to a jnani and jnani blesses you, it will happen. It will have an effect definitely. So that's why here the jnani is praised. Jnani is put at the same level as Isvara almost. Understand here. Because Isvara also, same thing. Isvara is free because of this self-knowledge. Jnani also is free because of self-knowledge. But Isvara Upadhi is Maya Upadhi. That is very different. But it is only a Upadhi. Essentially they are one and the same. And that's why even the one who desires prosperity in this life, desires pleasant experiences, can go and pray to this jnani, because jnani doesn't have any ahankara. In fact, only because of this ahankara, we think that we are not the Isvara. See, that is the problem. For us, what is the problem? This whole knowledge also, the most difficult thing is owning up. Understanding Vedanta is not actually very difficult. Vedanta is pretty straightforward. I can teach you in 15 minutes. I can teach you in 15 classes. I can teach you for 15 years also. So, it's not a big deal. It can be taught. Even if we take 15 years, it is not a big deal in the whatever cosmic timeline. If you look at it, it's not a big deal. So Vedanta can be taught, Vedanta can be understood. But still what the problem is, there is a habitual tendency. The habitual tendency is what? Looking upon oneself as this jiva. this limited person, identifying oneself with this Deha. So Dehatma Buddhi is a problem. Owning up that I am the limitless is the problem actually. So that is the main thing. You are not able to own up. Even though the Guru is teaching you very clearly, the vision has been communicated, but still owning up takes its own time. But let that be as it is. Even that will happen. It's only a process of growing clarity. So the clarity will become better and better, like the sunrise happens, the daybreak happens, the light spreads, and the visibility and the clarity improve, correct? Same thing here. Over a period of time, you will own up this knowledge. There is no doubt about that. All you have to do is keep doing Shravana, Manana, Nidhyasana. Nothing else is required. So continue without giving up, without losing enthusiasm and interest. Continue the pursuit. Then there is no problem. This knowledge you will gain. There is no doubt about that. Even Arjuna says finally, Nashto Mohaha Smritir Labdha and all that. But in fact, one of the funny things is there is something called Anugita in Mahabharata itself. And there again, they present as though Arjuna has forgotten everything. And he again asks Krishna, why don't you teach me and all that? Then Krishna says, no, I can't do it again for you. Same thing. It's a very funny thing. You can go and check it out. Or maybe we'll see that Anugita also later in some other class. But at least in Bhagavad Gita, in the end, Arjuna says that this delusion is over and I have gained Smritir Labdha and all that. So he says, I have gained certain knowledge and I will continue whatever I am supposed to do, I will do. So, this owning up is the problem. And the only difference between us and Isvara is that problem. Isvara already has the knowledge. We are in the process of gaining the knowledge. That's all is the difference. Once you have that knowledge, there is only the Upadhi is different. Essentially, you are the same. So that's why Jnani is put at the same pedestal as Isvara. Okay. So Jnani also does not look upon oneself as having any limitations. And so that means then Isvara's niyati will then manifest itself through the Jnani's sattva or Jnani Santakarana. So Shankara even says that Jnani is looked upon as Paradevata and all that in the Bhashya. Okay, so, and Jnani himself is Satya Sankalpaha here. So I told Isvara is Satya Sankalpaha before. Jnani also becomes Satya Sankalpaha because here Jnani Sankalpa and Isvara Sankalpa are not different. Okay. And if a person who is worshipping this Jnani, praying to this Jnani, and if the Jnani thinks that, okay, that person deserves something, that will happen, it will come true. Particularly if that person's prarabdha also is okay. So, like that, so that is the reason in our country, correct? All sannyasis are respected. Okay. Of course, just because somebody is wearing kavi vastra, you can't respect, but there is a respect for the dress itself. We cannot deny that. Although Ravana also misused it. Right from Ramayana time only, the kavi vastra has been misused. So, but in general, the one who is a Shrotriya, correct? So the important thing is what? whom do we respect? Even among sannyasis, whom do we respect? Is that person should know the Shastra minimum. Because a Shrotriya means that person will teach you the Shastra. Whatever is said in the Shastra, that person can teach you. So, any Guru also has to teach you. If there is no teaching, then as a mumukshu, that Guru is not useful to you. Understand this. See, many people, even today, there is an enormous, fascination towards mysticism, miracles and all that. Correct? People go to some Guru because that Guru is giving you some vibhuti. Guru is taking the vibhuti from thin air and gives you. Okay, whether it is really some kind of siddhi or they are doing some magic, whatever it may be. So all this miraculous thing only is attracting people. Now let us say, or some people go to some Guru saying that this Guru has cured me of this disease, that disease. Even that is useless, let me tell you. Why? Okay, you got cured of some disease, you are going to live for another 10 years, 15 years, but you are still what? You are still no good. You are still the same jiva. Correct? So what is the big deal? What is the big deal if somebody is doing some miracle or somebody has a siddhi? How does it help you really? Unless somebody is teaching you Shastra, that person is not really helping you. So understand that. Everything else is only secondary. For a mumukshu, jnanam is the main thing. And whether a guru or a sannyasi is able to give you the jnana or not is the main or should be the main criteria for you to respect somebody or not. So, and also that person should be committed to Brahman, Brahmanishta. See, even in Mundakopanishad itself, Guru is talked about as one who is Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. So, Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam is something very important. So, then if you go to a Guru and attend some classes or be with that Guru, you will have some idea whether that person is committed to Brahman. As a lifestyle also, that person is committed, does not manipulate anybody, does not behave in a small manner, correct? Doesn't have any insecurities. Those are very important. So, and is able to teach you also. So, teaching is the main thing. Wherever there is teaching, there only a mumukshu has to go, and that is the thing you have to respect. But anyway, in the society, all sannyasis are respected in general because people think that they are jnanis, or at least they are better qualified to become jnanis, whichever way you look at it. And the sannyasis are respected. And that respect again is coming from this only. Okay? So, the sannyasi sankalpa also is like Isvara sankalpa. And whatever the sannyasi or the jnani thinks will come true. Okay? So, like this, it is told here, it's a very important verse, it is quoted a lot. See, even in Bhagavad Gita, you have to remember, Bhagavan says, Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajatyante kalevaram tamtame veti konteya sada sadbhava bhavitaha. And also he says, Yo yo yam yam tanum bhaktaha shraddhaya chitum ichchati tasya tasya chalam shraddham tameva vedadham yaham. Like that. See, the one who worships me in whichever form, I bless that person in that same form. Like that Bhagavan says. That's why we don't have a problem with this. Whatever form you worship Ishvara, it is fine for us. The form is not a big deal. So like this, Jnani also becomes an altar for worship. That's what the Upanishad here says, and with this particular khanda is over. The first section of third Mundaka is over. In fact, with this, the Mundaka-Upanishad itself is almost complete. We have seen everything. The teacher also feels that he has taught everything here. Okay? But again, also another thing is what, normally when does a teacher feel that I have taught enough? When the teacher feels that the students have understood, correct? Because the teaching is complete means it does not mean that whatever the teacher knows he has told and then the teaching is over. It is more to do with whether the students have understood or not. Till the students understand, the teacher has to teach generally. So here in the Mundaka-Upanishad, we can see that with this, the teacher also thinks that I have taught whatever needs to be taught, and I also think that the student also has understood. Like that, the teacher thinks. So Saunaka is the one who is teaching here, just to remind you, correct? We saw in the beginning. Okay. Sorry, Saunaka is the student. So Saunaka seems to have understood everything. And now the conclusion, normally what do we have? We have something called Phalashruti. So again this section is a Phalashruti. It is more like a summing up, and also it praises knowledge. Okay. So the result of the knowledge and the knowledge itself is praised here. And again there is some description about the one who gains this knowledge. So all these things are presented here. So in this next section, the first mantra, so it is going to tell that a mumukshu gains moksha by worshipping the Atmajna. So let us see that. Saveda etat paramam.
Saveda etat paramam.
Brahmadhama yatra vishwam nitam bhati shubhram.
Brahmadhama yatra vishwam nihitam bhati shubhram.
Upasate purusham yehi akamaha.
Upasate purusham yehi akamaha.
Te shukram etad ativartanti dhiraha.
Te shukrametat ativartanti dhiraha.
So here saha means that person. Saha Veda. Okay. So that person, who is that person, we'll see. That person here is the knower of Atma. Okay. Saha Veda Etat Brahma Paramam Dhama. So the one who knows this Brahman. And what is this Brahman? It is Param Dhama. Dhama means an abode, you can say, correct? So Paramam Dhama means what? The greatest or the ultimate abode. And what kind of abode is this? Yatra Vishwam Nihitam Shubhram Bhati. So again here the nature of, see, Parandhama means immediately everybody will think, okay, it is some loka. Even in the previous verse, it talked about that Jnani gains all the loka. Why should the loka be talked about? That is because Veda itself, in its Karma Kanda, is mainly talking about sadhana and sadhya, correct? And many of the sadhyas are nothing but going to different lokas. So a Vaidika who has read this Veda and who is a Vaidika and following all the Vaidika karma is already committed to all these different lokas. So that is a Vedanta also is part of the Veda, correct? So when it is trying to praise Jnana, then how does it praise the Jnana? By telling that, hey, whatever karma phala you can get or whatever you think is the greatest karma phala you can get by doing karma and upasana and all that, that is already available. That is available through this jnana only, in fact, really. That is all easily available to a jnani. That's why even in the previous verse, this yam lokam manasa samvibhati was talked about. Similarly, here also, parandhama, paramam dhama. Now, dhama means again you think that it is somewhere you have to go and reach some abode and all that. But immediately the Upanishad clarifies what? No, param dhama is only a figurative expression here. That doesn't mean that you have to go to some Golok Vrindavan. So what kind of dhama it is? Yatra vishwam nihitam bhati shubram. So where this entire world, okay, nihitam means it is placed, okay, you can say, and which is like shubram bhati. It is shining, okay, it is bright, and it is self-revealing. So this great abode is nothing but in which the entire world is placed and which is also self-revealing. So which is nothing but your own swarupa, it is your self. So the self alone is the greatest abode. There is nothing else other than that, and the knower of this self. Okay, so that knower of this self, and what else? Te dhiraha, hi akamaha. So those dhira means the one who has viveka, viveki purushaha, they are known as dhiraha. So those who have discrimination, those who have clear idea about what is nitya, what is anitya, all this viveka is there. Okay, those who are dhiraha, viveki purushaha, and akamaha. Okay, they are free from seeking all these desires, free from seeking limited things. Karma phala, all karma phala are limited, and so akamaha. In fact, even in Taittiriya Upanishad, there is a beautiful word, akama hataha. Okay, so shrotriyasya cha kamahatasya, like that it says. So here this akamaha means one who has vairagya, because one who does not, there is no interest. For the one who has understood what is moksha really, all these limited things have no interest, correct? You don't have to hate it or anything. You are objective, and they are not of really any big interest to you. So they are free from seeking limited things, free from seeking to fulfill their desires. That is the real freedom. So viveki and vairagya, viveka and vairagya both are talked about here. Dhiraha, akamaha. Okay. So these are the mumukshus. And what do? Ye upasate purusham. So these people worship the one about whom we talked about in the previous half, correct? The Atmajnani. So before this, even for those who are seeking prosperity in this world, Upanishad said, Atmajnam hi archayet. Now here Upanishad is saying, even for mumukshus who are seeking moksha, they worship this Atmajnanis. So those Viveki Purushaha and those who have Vairagya, they also worship this Jnani, the knower of the Atma. And because of that, what happens? Ativartanti etat shukram. So Ativartanti means they cross. Okay? Etat shukram means, this shukram means here repeated births, this samsara. So they cross the samsara, this world of becoming. So that is what is beautifully said here. So this particular verse also is talking about how even mukshus, they seek the grace of the Atmajnani. And how do they do this? Upasate here means what? It is not that they sit somewhere and do upasana. Okay, that also you can do. But here means we have to see that tadviddhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. All these things you can do. The upasate can mean what? Pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. Like that. So you go and live with that Guru, do seva to that Guru, listen to that Guru's teachings and have samvada, discuss, get clarity, clarify your doubts. All these things are part of this upasate. When they say upasate here, you approach an Atmajnani, then listen to that Jnani and then gain this knowledge. That is how we have to understand. It is not that you sit in one place and then just to do puja. Of course, even if you do that, that also will have some phala, but that is not exactly meant here. So, if you go to a Jnani and learn from that Jnani, then you will cross this samsara. Okay? So, Atmavid tarati shokam. So, you cross samsara means you cross all dukkha, all shoka, all sorrow, everything you cross. So, Veda also, in Chandogya it says, Acharyavan Purusho Veda. So, only the one who has the Acharya will know this Atma. So, you have to go to a Guru. And even in Mundaka also we saw before what? Tat Vijnanartham sa Gurumeva Abhigachet. So, you have to go to a Guru. And that Guru has to be Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. That's what we were talking about. So, the Atmajna has to be worshipped. Means the Atmajna has to be approached and you have to learn from the Jnani. And that is the main means of gaining moksha. Okay? So moksha is not something which you will stumble upon accidentally. Understand that. See, I have already told you, so many people have some kind of a romantic notion that they sit somewhere, close their eyes, dive deep inside themselves and all that. And suddenly some experience will come and then they become enlightened and all that. So that's not the right approach. You want moksha means you go and learn from a guru. That is our tradition. The traditional teaching is very clear. Acharyavan Purusho Veda. Because some people have allergy to guru itself. Even like people like J. Krishnamurti and all, they come and further confuse you. Or even this Neo-Vedanta people also confuse you. So Krishnamurti says, truth is a pathless land. Hey. So what? Okay, truth is yourself. You don't require any path to yourself. Okay. So, but you still have to know yourself. So there is no problem. You have to go to a guru, study the Shastra. That is the means of gaining this knowledge. There is no other way. And Shastra is the only Pramana. So this Pramana, and what is this Pramana Vyapara? All these things one has to be very clear. If clarity is there in that, then your pursuit also will be fruitful. Otherwise, even like people who are mumukshus, they are all good people, correct? They are all also seekers. They have dedicated their entire life for this pursuit. But whatever we have, what can we say about them? Bhagavan has said, Nahi kalyana krit kasyate durgatim tata gacchati. Like that, suddenly Arjuna asks in the sixth chapter of Bhagavad Gita, in the 6th chapter, he asks, what happens to a yoga brashta and all that? One who is a yogi, one who is a karma yogi, jnana yogi, one who has started in this pursuit but somehow could not complete. So Bhagavan says, don't worry. The one who has started this never attains any bad, whatever. Durgati is not there for that person. Nahi kalyana krit, Pashtit durgatim tata gacchati. Like that, Bhagavan gives you an assurance at least. So one who has started this Vedanta Shravanam and all that, at least you all can have one assurance from Bhagavan that you are in the right track. Even if this Janma something happens, okay, what? You will continue. Okay. In the next Janma, from wherever you left. Okay. So even that same buddhi you gain and all, Bhagavan says in the 6th chapter, the same thing. Whatever you had before. That's why we have all these prodigies. Okay. People like Ramana and all, we have to include in that category, I think. So already in some previous Janma, they have done all these things. But some small thing is left over. And in this Janma, that also is taken care of. Like that. So Acharyavan Purusho Veda. And here, Ye Purusham Upasate. These are all important verses in the Upanishad. And we have to always go to a guru to learn. This is an important thing. So traditionally, that is why this Upanishad itself is starting by showing you the Guru Parampara, correct? So the Guru Parampara starts right from Isvara. So that's why even in our prayer, what do we say? Sadashiva Samarambham. Like that we start. So this knowledge starts from Isvara only because Isvara only reveals the Veda in every creation. Every cycle of creation, Isvara is the one who reveals the Veda. So all knowledge, including the Vedika knowledge, starts from Isvara. And then the lineage is started according to this Upanishad by Brahmaji. Isvara revealed it to Brahmaji, and Brahmaji starts the lineage by teaching it, okay, to others. And like that, it has been coming up to my own Guru. So Sadashiva Samarambham, Shankaracharya Madhyamam we say. Shankara is a very important link in the middle. Because when the Vaidika Dharma was almost becoming very weak, you can say, even in India, Shankara came and established it. So today if we are able to study this Vedanta, that is because of Shankaracharya. And because of his commentary only, many things are also, whatever, it is all, we can understand many of these things only due to Shankara's commentary. Because of the clarity with which Shankara has commented on these things, we are able to understand and talk about it. So the Parampara itself is there today only because of Shankara and because of my own Guru. Like that, we have this prayer in the beginning. The another form of that prayer starts with Narayana. Narayanam Padmabhuvam Vasishtam Shaktincha Tatputra Parasharancha Vyasam Sukam Gaudapadam Mahantam Govinda Yogindra Mathasya Shishyam Sri Shankaram. Like that, that's a bigger verse. And it also includes many other people in between. Gaudapada, Govinda Bhagavad-pada, then whatever, Vyasa, Shuka, like that. So, whichever prayer we say, the Guru Parampara is the important thing here. And to gain this knowledge, one has to go to a Guru. There is no other way. Understand that? But of course, you have to select the right Guru. That is also important. So those things are talked about here. We will continue this next week. Okay. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam.
Om Purnamadah Purnamidam.
Purnat Purnamudachyate.
Purnat Purnamudachyate.
Purnasya Purnamadaya.
Purnasya Purnamadaya.
Purnamevavasishyate.
Purnamevavasishyate.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.
Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.
Harihi Om.
Harihi Om.